Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm coming at you with some breaking news right now, so stay tuned. I should be the first person you see this from because I'm getting this out straight away, as literally just been announced some huge news about the San Francisco Shock. Make sure if I'm the first person you're hearing this from, you like, comment, subscribe, and share, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so the San Francisco Shock have just said that they're dropping Smurf, Ants, Twilight, Tayu, Nero, Glister, and FD God. This leaves the current San Francisco Shock roster as Choyobin, Super, and Violet, and this is insane. First of all, let's talk about the players who have been dropped. So every single player that's been dropped is a really good player. All of them, other than one, I could see most definitely finding a home, but that one definitely has the opportunity to find a home. So Smurf, Ants, FD God, Twilight, and Nero, I think it's pretty confident they'll find a team. And then Tayo, it's still definitely possible that he'll find a place on a team, but he has to do well in tryouts because we've seen nothing from him in the 2 seasons that he's been signed to the San Francisco Shock. However, teams might be interested to see if he's learned anything from such great players over the years, and he could have. Ants, we know, is a phenomenal hit scan player. I think he could find a home if he really wants to. He definitely looked better a couple of seasons ago to this season, but this season he didn't look half bad whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if Ants retired or something, because it didn't seem like he wanted to play for teams other than the San Francisco Shock after he went to Valorant and then came back. FD God is known as a flashy player, and he definitely should find a home as well. Back on Paris, he was phenomenal, very flashy, very efficient anyway, and then this season we also saw his Brig being extremely good, which not many people were expecting. I didn't think, to be honest, on the Paris Eternal roster his Brig was that good, but then on the San Francisco Shock it's pretty decent. Smurf obviously is an incredible main tank player. They've probably dropped him here because they want to stick with Super for the tank role going into Overwatch 2. Maybe that's because Smurf has less flexibility than Super does. We know back when Hog was a thing, Super was the one playing it. He must be the more flexible of the 2 tanks. That's probably why Smurf's been dropped. That being said, Smurf will definitely find a team without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, because I mean nobody really knows what the tank role is going to look like, and you definitely want a superior, dominant, incredible Orisa Winston player on your team. Plus he's probably going to be better on the Reinhardt than most off tanks if he's going up against them on a Rhine battle when there's only one tank slot. Then we've got Twilight, and I think Twilight is probably the best player here. That is a tough thing to say because they're all incredible, but I think Twilight put on an absolute masterclass last year, and I'm quite surprised they stuck with Violet over Twilight. I mean, Violet definitely has better peaks on his good heroes, but then Twilight is just good on all the heroes, and his Ana is probably one of the best in the league. Twilight is definitely going to find a team. Unless he retires, Twilight is going to be extremely sought after, and he can take his time with this. We saw when he got dropped from the Vancouver Titans, the best team in the league at the time wanted him. I think he's in a very similar position right now. He can take his time with his choices because there's no doubt in my mind he's going to find a team, and I think he should really go to a top tier team where he can win another championship. Then there's just 2 more players left. I actually forgot to mention Glister at the start. He's been dropped for some reason on this tweet from the San Francisco Shock. His picture isn't actually in the image of where they're saying thank you. Maybe they're not thankful for him, who knows. Controversy, stir that pot a bit, but Glister is insane. I think he definitely had a better year than Ants this season, and we saw back on London Spitfire a very poor roster, but he was still shining through, and that's why he got picked up for the San Francisco Shock in the first place. Glister, like most of the others players here, is definitely going to find a team. I would be absolutely astonished if he didn't find a team. I don't expect him to retire because he's only had a couple of years in the league, and I'd really like to see more from him. After that initial part of the league this season where they didn't really look like they felt comfortable running Glister, Glister really came into his element. His Tracer was really incredible, and then we know he can play the ranged hit scan as well. There's not much more to say other than Glister was filling in for Striker and managed to do a good job of it. Those are some massive shoes to fill, and he managed to do that, and that is got to be something teams are going to value and teams are going to want Glister for. And then finally we've got Nero. I think he should also definitely find a team. To be honest, he didn't do anything phenomenal on the Shock, but then again, if you look mediocre on the Shock, you're going to look incredible on other teams. Nero's definitely going to be valued by a team for his flexibility and also his high peaks on the heroes. He plays really well. I do think you want Nero on a roster with 3 DPS though. I don't think he covers all the bases perfectly. I think you're going to want to be swapping him and out between a group of 3 DPS players and just going around like that, getting them on their comfort picks. Have Nero there for kind of exclusively the projectile heroes. I'm talking your Pharahs, your Genjis, your Meis, and then maybe have a Tracer player, and then maybe have a ranged hit scan player. I think that would work best for Nero if he was going to a top tier team, but then if he wasn't going for a currently championship caliber team, you could definitely just stick Nero on the Tracer when it's needed and they would do perfectly fine. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you comment down below what you think of these changes. Who do you think the Shock are looking to pick up? Are they going to be as dominant as they have previously? Are they even going to be a good team anymore, or are they trying to be a bit more budget? Comment that down below. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.